स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायश्चवभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जगत गुरु शिला प्रपात की जय। शिला गुरुदेव महाविष्णु गोसाई महाराज की जय। भगवत गीता जी टीच की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम पुराण की जय। श्री ईशोपनिषद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। जय शिला प्रपात, जय शिला गुरुदेव। हरे कृष्णा डियर डिवोटीज, welcome to today's Isopanishad class. So first of all, I want to say thank you very much for His Grace Amrish Prabhu, Her Grace Pun Pragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Smarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing this wonderful class and giving me chance to share my realization on this mantra. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So we are on Shri Ishopanishad, mantra 13. So we're going to start new mantra today, mantra 13. So I want to request all the intermediate devotees to show their video, please. Hare Krishna. I'll just see if I can share my screen. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Right. Shri Ishopanishad, mantra 13. Anyad evahu sambhavat, anyad ahur asambhavat, iti shushrumadhiranam, yenastad vichachakshire. Anyad evahu sambhavat, anyad ahur asambhavat, iti shushrumadhiranam, yenastad vichachakshire. अन्यद एवाहु संभवात्, अन्यद आहुर असंभवात्, इति शुश्रुमाधीराणाम्, येनस्तद्विचक्षिरे. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Divanshi Mataji. Are you there?
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm turning on my video in 5 minutes. I can recite the verse.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. You can do
Yes.
that. Thank you, Mataji.
Anyad evahu sambhavat, anyad ahur asambhavat, iti shushrumadhiranam, yenastadvichachakshire. Anyad evahu sambhavat, anyad ahur asambhavat, iti shushrumadhiranam, yenastadvichachakshire. Anyad evahu sambhavat, anyad ahur asambhavat, iti shushrumadhiranam, yenastadvichachakshire.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Is any other devotees wants to recite this verse?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
I can
Krishna.
recite.
Yeah.
Anyat evahu sambhavan, anyat ahur asambhavan, iti shushrumadhiranam, yenashtadvichachakshire. Anyat evahu asambhavan, anyat ahur asambhavan, iti shushrumadhiranam. Yenashtadvichachakshire.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So, what towards Shinonam, translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll read what towards Shinonam first. Hare Krishna Divanshi Mataji, are you be able to read it?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can read. I can read.
Okay.
Anyat, different. Ev, certainly. Ahu, it is said. Sambhavat, by worshipping the Supreme Lord, the cause of all causes. Anyat, different. Ahu, it is said. Asambhavat, by worshipping what is not the Supreme. Iti, thus. Shushrama, I heard it. Dhiranam, from the undisturbed authorities. Ye, who. Naha, unto us. Tat, about that subject matter. Vichachakshire, perfectly explained. Prabhuji, should I read only the translation words?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
translations. Yeah.
Different, certainly, it is said, by worshipping the Supreme Lord, the cause of all causes. Different, it is said, by worshipping what is not the Supreme. Thus I heard it from the undisturbed authorities, who unto us about that subject matter perfectly explained.
Yes. So we can drive the meaning from the word towards synonyms. Verse what is said here. That first line, Anyad evahu sambhavat. So different. Certainly, it is said by worshipping the Supreme Lord, the cause of all causes. And then again, Anyad ahur asambhava. So again, the different it is said by worshipping what is not the Supreme. Iti Shushruma Dhiranam. So Shushruma is like hearing, So thus I heard it from whom? Dhiranam, the undisturbed authorities. Ye nas tad vichachakshire, who unto us about that subject matter perfectly explained. Vichachakshire, like they explained it very perfectly, this subject matter to us. So this is how we can drive these meanings from word to synonyms. And that is very important. Now we come to the translation. Yes, Mataji.
It is said that one result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and that another result is obtained by worshipping what is not supreme. All this is heard from the undisturbed authorities, who clearly explained it.
Yes. So it is said that one result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and that another result is obtained by worshipping what is not supreme. All this is heard from the undisturbed authorities who clearly explained it. So from the translation, we can understand that this mantra is talking about two different results. So one obtained by one kind of worship and another obtained by another kind of worship. Like in previous mantras, we studied that who worship demigods, and they goes to darkest region of ignorance. And even more those who are pseudo-religionists or so-called spiritualists. So two words here explain sambhavat, the Supreme Lord who is cause of all causes, and Asambhavat, who is not Supreme Lord. And so in previous mantra also demigod also said to be Asambhutim. Asambhutim. So all this is perfectly explained by the authorities, which is called Dhira Nam. So Dhira person is only can understand this truth. Otherwise, there are many distractions in spirituality also. So there are different concepts exist, like all the paths leads to the same results. That is the main theme of this mantra, that all paths not leads to the same results. And another concept is like Manav Seva is Madhav Seva, or Dridhara Narayan, or people are pseudo religionists who are doing philanthropic activities and taking it is all in all. So these and demigod worships, etc. So all these concepts are getting clear here in this mantra. That every worship is not leading us to the Supreme Lord. Different worships and different activities leads to the different results. Anyad evahu sambhavat and anyad ahur asambhavat. So sambhavat asambhavat is very important in this mantra. So sambhavat is the supreme cause of all causes. Why is called cause of all causes? Krishna, because he is not dependent on anybody. He is independent. And asambhavat, who are dependent on sambhavat, who are not the supreme. So those are the other demigods or other powerful personalities. So this is explained here in this translation. We can understand that these two kinds of worships leads to the two different results. So, and Srila Prabhupada explained very nicely and it's a bit long purport, that different points, that how it is truth that two different worships, leads to different results. So we will get into the purports now. Hold on. Okay.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
The system of hearing from undisturbed authorities is approved in this mantra. Unless one hears from a bona fide acharya who is never disturbed by the changes of material world, one cannot have the real key to transcendental knowledge. The bona fide spiritual master, who has also heard the Shruti mantras or Vedic knowledge from his undisturbed acharya, never presents anything that is not mentioned in the Vedic literature. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 25, it is clearly said that those who worship the Pitras or forefathers attain the planets of the forefathers, that the gross materialists who make plans to remain here stay in this world, and that the devotees of the Lord who worship none but Lord Krishna, the supreme cause of all causes, reach him in his spiritual sky. Here also in Sri Isopanishad, it is verified that one achieves different results by different modes of worship. If we worship the Supreme Lord, we will certainly reach him in his eternal abode. And if we worship demigods like the sun god or moon god, we can reach their respective planets without a doubt. And if we wish to remain on this wretched planet with our planning commissions and our stopgap political adjustments, we can certainly do that as well also.
Yes. So that is the very first paragraph. So here, Srila Prabhupada, the first point, Srila Prabhupada are saying that hearing from a bona fide acharya in the bona fide parampara, or disciplic succession. So hearing, sushruma, is very important, So the true knowledge is uncontaminated, which is passed down from Guru Shishya Parampara, disciplic succession. And we need to learn this art of hearing from bona fide acharyas. So this art of hearing, like it is a systematic study of Srila Prabhupada books. And And in Hare Krishna weekend programs, we follow this. So this is an example that we should systematically study the Srila Prabhupada books, and we hear, or we are hearing from Srila Prabhupada, which is uncontaminated knowledge or transcendental knowledge, So once we follow this systematic study that will develop this art of hearing, Srila Prabhupada are mentioning here that bona fide Acharya never present anything that is not mentioned in Vedic literature. So we can see that, like when we read Srila Prabhupada books or hear the lectures or Srila Gurudev's lectures, so they always quote the references from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, revealed scriptures, So nothing is concoctions or opinions, So that is the sign of that there is a bona fide, it's a bona fide disciplic succession. So we see uh, this type of references always in Srila Prabhupada books and lectures. So this is bona fide hearing from bona fide source. So very first point is about hearing Sushruma Dhirana. So this is referenced. This is also actually is referred in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 34 about how to receive this uncontaminated knowledge. This is famous verse. I'll use that. Yeah. Tad vidhi pranipatena परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम ज्ञानिनस्तत्वदर्शिनः. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada, the one point that I like that Srila Prabhupada is saying that satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. So this is how this verse is showing how we approach a spiritual master. We inquire from him submissively and render service into him. But again, the point is satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. So how we satisfy our spiritual master? So this is the secret. And yes, we have to serve our guru in full surrender, but guru will only satisfy when disciple follow his instructions sincerely. So studying Srila Prabhupada books regularly is one of the instruction we have to follow honestly. And this comes in hearing from undisturbed authorities. So the result will be clarity in our knowledge and concepts and not hovering on material platform, as Srila Prabhupada said further in purport. So we can experience this in our life or in our devotional service as well. So whenever we lack in hearing, or we don't have time to study Srila Prabhupada books, and we don't hear the lectures even, then we feel the disturbance. We feel mind is very agitated. Our chanting is not proper. We sort of try to deviate from the path. So this is the effect of serious hearing, the sincere hearing. So Srila Prabhupada said that religion without philosophy is sentiment or sometimes fanaticism, while philosophy without religion is mental speculation. So these both needs to go together, philosophy and devotion. So then we can become dhira when we keep hearing from dhirana. So in any situation, whether it is provoking or normal, dhira person act in accordance with eyes of knowledge. What is eyes of knowledge? Vicha chakshire, perfectly explained. So the knowledge is perfectly explained. So we obtain these eyes of knowledge by hearing from authorities, and that helps us in how we behave in any situation. We can be in in very big difficulties, or we are in a normal situation, or we are in happy, very happy situation, doesn't matter. A dhira person is always act with the eyes of knowledge. So that's the effect of hearing, sushruma from dhirana. So this is the very first point Srila Prabhupada explained here in the first paragraph of first half. And the second half of this paragraph, Srila Prabhupada are giving the reference of Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, verse 25. And that is talks about different worships, So Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, verse 25. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitri vrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti mad yajino api mam. Translation: those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. Those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors, and those who worship me will live with me. So here clearly Lord Krishna is explaining that not all worships will lead us to the same destination. If we do demigod worship, we'll go to the demigods. If we do forefather worship, we go to the forefathers. And some people do black magic or ghostly beings and all those worships, occult. So they will go there. But if we do devotion service, a pure devotee will go to Krishna, in Krishna loka. So one point in the purport, Srila Prabhupada are mentioning that there are many men who practice this black art and they think that it is spiritualism. But such activities are completely materialistic. So this is the point. Like the spiritualism is about the spiritual sky. And all these worships are the demigod worship or black magic or pitris or occult, etc. They all are in not the spiritual sky. It is in material creation. So that's this universe which belongs to this material creation. And spiritual sky is beyond this material creation. So this material creation, which is the beyond of this material creation is called Vaikuntha Loka. So the real spiritualism is Krishna consciousness, where a pure devotee of the Lord achieves these planets of Vaikuntha or Krishna Loka. So different worships gives different results. That's clearly mentioned in this reference also and this mantra also. So some people take it as a spiritualism, all these worships. But Srila Prabhupada says that is clearly a materialism. Why? Because it's all comes under the material creation. It's not go beyond that. Because demigods also are not beyond this material creation. They are also within this material creation. All those upper planets and lower planets. So this that's why this is not spiritualism. So these 2 points are very clear in this very first paragraph here with Srila Prabhupada explaining. So do you need any clarification or questions so far on these 2 points? No? Okay. So okay, then we'll go further. Right. Now the second paragraph.
Yes, Prabhuji. Nowhere in authentic scriptures is it said that one will ultimately reach the same goal by doing anything or worshipping anyone. Such foolish theories are offered by self-made spiritual masters who have no connection with the parampara, the bona fide system of disciplic succession. The bona fide spiritual master cannot say that all paths lead to the same goal and that anyone can attain this goal by his own mode of worship of the demigods or of the Supreme or whatever. Any common man can very easily understand that a person can reach his destination only when he has purchased a ticket for that destination. A person who has purchased a ticket for Calcutta can reach Calcutta, but not Bombay. But the so-called spiritual masters say that any and all paths will take one to the supreme goal. Such mundane and compromising offers attract many foolish creatures who become puffed up with their manufactured methods of spiritual realization. The Vedic instructions, however, do not uphold them. Unless one has received knowledge from the bona fide spiritual master, who is in the recognized line of disciplic succession, one cannot have the real thing as it is. Krishna tells Arjun in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 2, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu sakale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. The supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost.
Yes. So here, the main point here um, is that the self-made spiritual masters with no connection with bona fide parampara are appeal to the foolish people who thinks all paths leads to the same goal. So people who thinks this less intelligent, they go to this and these kind of the pseudo religionist or self-made spiritual gurus, they appeal to them. So they manufacture their own method of so-called spiritual realization. Srila Prabhupada are saying here that this cannot be a real thing as it is, because it is manufactured, as it means no connection. Sorry, no, uh, as it is means no contamination. There are many pseudo spiritual gurus who openly say that they haven't studied Bhagavad Gita or they haven't studied any scriptures, but still they teach spiritual realization. Then there is this belief that the Bhagavad Gita is only about karma or prescribed duty, or any other mundane purpose. We can use Bhagavad Gita like in good management or other mundane purposes. But the real goal or the real purpose of Bhagavad Gita is when it is explained as it is, as Srila Prabhupada has done it. Srila Prabhupada translated Bhagavad Gita as it is. Otherwise, so many other translations, people give their own mental concoctions or their own concepts and use Bhagavad Gita to promote those. So, and the reference given here is Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 2, where the chain of disciple succession, it is described. That also famous verse. I'll just use that. Yeah. Evam parampara praptim Imam Rajrashayo viduhu Sakalenah Mahatta Yogo Nashta Parantapa. Translation: This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So here clearly it is mentioned that the supreme science is received through the chain of disciplic succession, parampara. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that certainly Bhagavad Gita was never meant for the demonic persons who would dissipate its value for no one's benefit and would devise all types of interpretation according to personal whims. And that's what's happening, in different different translations, people translating or using Bhagavad Gita for their own whims, And so knowledge received in chain of disciplic succession is a real, uncontaminated knowledge. And Srila Prabhupada presented this in as Bhagavad Gita as it is, which is most authentic at present. So that is the main point here. That disciplic succession, if you want real knowledge, so we need to come into this parampara system. And how we receive that was previous reference 4.34. Tadvidhi pripatena. Like we need to serve our spiritual master with surrender, full surrender, and satisfy him. Satisfaction is most important of spiritual master. And he will satisfy when we follow the instructions. So let's read further. Yes.
Yes. From this When Lord Sri Krishna paragraph, right?
Yes, madam.
When Lord Sri Krishna was present on this earth, the Bhakti Yoga principles defined in the Bhagavad Gita had become distorted. Therefore, the Lord had to re-establish the disciplic system, beginning with Arjuna, who is the most confidential friend and devotee of the Lord. The Lord clearly told Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 3, that it was because Arjuna was his devotee and friend that he could understand the principles of the Bhagavad Gita. In other words, only the Lord's devotee and friend can understand the Gita. This also means that only one who follows the path of Arjuna can understand the Bhagavad Gita.
Yes. So, here the point is that only what is the qualification? There's two qualifications here given here to receive the transcendental knowledge. That one is that we need to be a friend to Krishna, and second is that we need to be devotee of Krishna. So this is another reference is 4.3 Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 3, where Lord Krishna is talks about this reference. Sorry, I'll just share it. Yeah. Sa evayam maya te adya yoga prokta puratanaha bhakto asi me sakha cheti rahasyam hi etad uttamam. Translation: that very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend. Therefore, you can understand the transcendental mystery of this science. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying that there are two classes of men, namely the devotee and the demon. The Lord selected Arjuna as the recipient of this great science, owing to his becoming the devotee of the Lord. But for the demon, it is not possible to understand this great mysterious science. Yes, so it is not for demons. It is not for who doesn't believe in Krishna. So for demons, it is impossible to understand this transcendental knowledge. So first, we must have faith in Krishna. No faith or weak faith will lead to wrong direction. Devotee means 100% faith in Krishna. Then be friend with Krishna, because in other places Krishna is explained as Suhirt. Suhirt means very dear friend. So Krishna is very dear friend. So if we recognize this relationship, then Krishna will reciprocate. And then we will receive this transcendental knowledge. And this is also the following the path of Arjuna, which that's how Arjuna is received this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So as previous paragraphs, Srila Prabhupada are explaining that different people use Bhagavad Gita, they misinterpret. Why? Because they don't have these two qualifications. Unless we have these two qualifications, we cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. Then they try to use Bhagavad Gita for mundane purposes. Try to increase efficiency in their work or whatever reasons. So so that is the main center of, main qualification, the two qualification. That's the main point of here. Is any, I'll ask if any questions or any clarification you needed so far. No? Okay, so we'll go further.
At the present moment, there are many interpreters and translators of this sublime dialogue who care nothing for Lord Krishna or Arjuna. Such interpreters explain the verses of the Bhagavad Gita in their own way and postulate all sorts of rubbish in the name of the Gita. Such interpreters believe neither in Sri Krishna nor in his eternal abode. How then can they explain the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, that's the same point here. So that we do not believe, if you do not believe in Krishna, how can we understand or explain Bhagavad Gita? Because first comes faith, Shraddha. We studied that previously. There are 9 stages of devotion service. The first is Shraddha, the faith. Then Sadhu Sangha, association with devotees. Then Bhajana Kriya, performance of devotion service. Then Anartha Nivritti, where purifying our contamination from our heart. And then Nishtha comes, the firm faith comes. And then Ruchi, the taste. And Asakti, then attachment to Krishna. And then Bhava, knowing our position in service. And in the end, Prema, the pure love of Krishna. So these are the stages of bhakti. The very first is faith. As we said that before, that devotee means 100% faith in Krishna. So if we don't have faith, then we cannot understand. So we must have faith in Krishna. So start with, then we can develop further in devotion service. That is the main point here. It's the same point as Srila Prabhupada stressing. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Am I audible, Vishnu?
Yes, you are audible.
Krishna clearly says that only those who have lost their sense worship the demigods for paltry rewards. Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 verse 20 and 23. Sense worship though. Okay. Sorry, I was not able to interpret the lines. Krishna clearly says that only those who have lost their sense worship the demigods for paltry rewards. Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 verse 20 and 23. Ultimately, he advises that one give up all other ways and modes of worship and fully surrender unto him alone. Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 verse 66. Only those who are cleansed of all sinful reactions can have such unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord. Others will continue hovering on the material platform with their paltry ways of worship and thus will be misled from the real path under the false impression that all paths lead to the same goal.
Yes. So the first point here is in the purport of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 20. So here, the translation, I'll go directly to translation. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. So in chapter 7, verse 20 is clearly said that there's the less intelligent people who have lost their spiritual sense take shelter of demigods for immediate fulfillment of material desires. So they want to fulfill their material desire immediately. And that's why they give here and there. So people who have lost their spiritual sense by material desires, now these kinds of people explain here less intelligent. They go to demigods. But nowadays we can see that people go to different so-called gurus or politicians and even science to fulfill their material desires. Not just demigods. They go here and there. But all so they are less intelligent. Another point is by Srila Prabhupada here is that they think for certain purposes demigods are better than the Supreme Lord. Now, this is due to their lack of proper knowledge. How come Supreme Lord be less in any way from a demigod or any other person in this world, whereas everything comes from the Lord and he is the cause of all causes? You know, so the Sambhava, he is the cause of all causes. So people think that, oh, I have this problem, I have this immediate problem or some physical problem or any kind of problem. I should go to this demigod. I go to this place. You know, that is less intelligence as described here. You know, is they think that these demigods will fix the problems quickly, and Supreme Lord won't. So that is a foolish argument or foolish thinking. So this is less intelligence. So Srila Prabhupada said a pure devotee never goes to demigods for satisfaction of his material needs. He depends on Krishna and satisfied with whatever he gives. Now this is a real intelligence. We know Isavasyam principle. You know, we're studying Isopanishad. So in the beginning we studied Isavasyam principle, and we have a set quota. So we totally depend on Krishna. And this is also in the next reference, Srila Prabhupada giving that chapter 18, verse 66, which is abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Sarva dharman pritijya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma sucha. So Krishna says that you don't have to go anywhere. Just he demands that surrender unto me and I will take care of everything. And the next point that Srila Prabhupada there is saying in a line that others will continue hovering on material platform with their platry ways of worship. So in this, we see that people do different things, you know. What does it mean? So it means that the transcendental knowledge we have, if we don't have transcendental knowledge, we hover on the material platform. Because some people, you see, some people observe different kinds of fasts. They fast on Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, you know, and then sometimes they go to different dargahs, you know, different places for their demands, and then they don't eat meat on certain days. and then comes Saturday, and then Saturday night fever. So all this happening, you know, they're hovering over the material. Srila Prabhupada saying that hovering over the material platform. Why is happening? Because there is no faith in Krishna. So all this hovering around the platform is because it's mislead. They mislead from the real knowledge and the real path, and under this false impression that all paths leads to the same goal. They think, okay, going here, going there, doing this and doing that, they all comes to, everything is worship of Lord, Supreme Lord. So all paths leads to the same goal. So that just is misled conception. So this is happening because they do not have unflinching faith in Krishna. And that is the main point here, you know. So Yeah.
In this mantra of Upanishad, the word Sambhavat, by worship of the Supreme Cause, is very significant. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, and everything that exists has emanated from him. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 8, the Lord says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvitah. And the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
Yeah. So we'll read continue reading on that.
Here is a correct description of the Supreme Lord given by the Lord Himself. The words Sarvasya Prabhavaha indicate that Krishna is the creator of everyone, including Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And because these three principal deities of the material world are created by the Lord is the creator of all that exists in the material and spiritual worlds. In the Atharva Ved, Gopal Tapani Upanishad, chapter 1, verse 24, it is similarly said, He who existed before the creation of Brahma and who enlightened Brahma with Vedic knowledge is Lord Shri Krishna. Similarly, the Narayan Upanishad states, Then the Supreme Person Narayan desired to create all living beings. Thus from Narayan, Brahma was born. Narayan created all the Prajapatis. Narayan created Indra. Narayan created the 8 Vasus. Narayan created the 11 Rudras. Narayan created the 12 Adityas. Since Narayan is a plenary manifestation of Lord Krishna, Narayan and Krishna are one and the same. The Narayan Upanishad also states, Devaki's son Krishna is the Supreme Lord. The identity of Narayan with the Supreme Cause has also been accepted and confirmed by Sripad Shankaracharya, even though Shankar does not belong to the Vaishnava or personalist cult. The Atharva Ved, the Maha Upanishad 1, also states, Only Narayan existed in the beginning, when neither Brahma, nor Shiva, nor fire, nor water, nor stars, nor sun, nor moon existed. The Lord does not remain alone, but creates as he desires. Krishna himself states in the Moksha Dharma, I created the Prajapatis and the Rudras. They do not have complete knowledge of me because they are covered by my illusory energy. It is also stated in the Varaha Puran, Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from him the four-headed Brahma was manifested, as well as Rudra, who later became omniscient.
Yes. So here, in this very important point described here about that Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the origin of everything, Sambhava. And the reference given here, chapter 10, verse 8, which is the seed verse, where it says that Krishna is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavu. Mattah sarvam pravartate. So everything comes from Krishna, material or spiritual. So Srila Prabhupada are saying that only a fool who would consider Krishna to be an ordinary man. And is giving Srila Prabhupada are giving so many different references here in this para, like from Upanishad, Purans, Vedas. Why? Even the Shankaracharyas. Because all these impersonalists, they use these scriptures to prove that Supreme Truth is impersonal. But here, Srila Prabhupada giving this reference from the same scriptures to proving that everything comes from Krishna, Narayan, and then further, the first is Krishna expand himself in Lord Balaram, and then quadruple expansions, and then Narayan, and then Purusha avatars, then Brahma, demigods, Prajapatis, all these comes from Krishna. But Krishna's illusory energy covers them to prevent for knowing this fact that Krishna is the origin. So Krishna expand himself in Lord, in all this. His soul comes from Krishna. So, so the root cause is Krishna. So this is another reference here, the Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse 1, where it says, ईश्वरः परमः कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदः सर्वकारण कारणम. Krishna is Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, and he is prime cause of all causes. So here, in this reference also, it is established there is nobody above Krishna. Krishna is the root cause. He is a Sambhava, causes of all causes. And that's what makes this authentic, or these references, is all these references is given. Why? As Srila Prabhupada said, that the Dhiranam, the real spiritual master, he doesn't give any reference other than the scriptures. All these references are given from the scriptures. I will actually read today's calendar of Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj is saying that the main characteristics of a sober person is that even in agitating circumstances, he is not agitated. This is initiation. Otherwise, what is the use of initiation? Nothing else to be learned. You have to learn this first. So this is the sign of a dhira person. You know? This is the characteristics of a sober person. Sober person, dhira person. So even in any agitated circumstances, he is not agitated. And he is only the person who can deliver this transcendental knowledge to us. So it is very big purport. So I think we will stop here for today. But we'll cover other half of purport next week. But we covered many points. So we discussed heaps of points here. So is there any question regarding these points or clarification needed? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees. You can show yourself. Yeah. So no questions. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll cover the rest of the purport in the next session, in next Sunday, and if you have questions or during the week or something, you can post it in our WhatsApp group by Wednesday, and we can take it on the next class or next Sunday's class. So Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. So we'll stop now. Hare Krishna, Ambrish Prabhu.
Yes, thank you very much, Sanjeev Prabhu. Very nice. Hare Krishna. So what is the time now? We are just a couple of minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll